Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot and welcome to your general reading, communal reading for the full moon of the 29th or the 30th of December, wherever you are, full moon in Cancer, 8 degrees Cancer. Now, on my Facebook page for this channel, link down below obviously, I've already posted the videos of the various YouTube astrologers discussing aspects of this new moon, so I'm not going to dive into it at length because they can explain things far better than I can. But this is the culmination full moon of the whole of 2020. This is the first full moon after the Jupiter Saturn Conjunction. This is where we start getting our act together and start building for the new year. So, to all my viewers, I hope you had a good midwinter festival, whichever one you celebrate. I had a great Yule and a great Christmas. And then I just ran out of days, really. So, Happy New Year to the lot of you. Like I said, I hope you had a great festival, whatever you did. Right, this full moon. It's like 3:30 in the morning or something here in the UK. So, in America, it's in the evening, late evening, early-ish evening, thinking about it for the West Coast. 8 degrees Capricorn, no, 8 degrees Cancer. Sun's at 8 degrees Capricorn. Now, as I say, this is about culmination. A lot of the astrologers are talking about how it's bringing together a sort of an emotional resolve, and I'm probably going to echo that with what I'm pointing out. There is a sort of not a resolution, a resolve. This is where I am, this is how I am, and this is where I'm moving forward from, and this is how I'm moving forward, that sort of thing. I think Wonder Girl Astrology said that it's a full moon where you'll notice what is missing. But you'll notice what is missing so that you go out and sort it out. You go out and get it. Obviously, Cancer is more than likely on an emotional level. It's been a tough year. Nobody's going to argue with that fact. Now, I want to look at the angels specifically. I didn't notice a lot about the Goetic spirits ruling the various decans, but there's 2 angels ruling the degrees of the chart of this full moon. One is Yeratel, who is actually controlling both the moon itself and Mars, and the pair are in a quintile, 0 degrees orb, a perfect quintile. As Mars is at 26 Aries, this is bringing us back, I feel, because this kept coming up as I was researching, back to April this year, or very soon to be last year. Yes. Which is when the Sun passed over 26 Aries and went into all the squares with the Capricorn clusters. And we've got those squares coming up again, or actually, I think we've just passed them all. But there's that sense of what you decided about who you are and who you want to be back in April, you are now able to put into practice as the Sun identity has changed, has left 26 Aries, degrees Aries, sorry, and is now replaced by Mars. So we've got that forward motion. Now Yeratel, let me bring my notes up here. Yeratel is, Yeratel signifies as a degree angel. Where's my notes? So of course I've not written that down anywhere. So, let's see. Yeratel signifies, up here, a silent partner or the propagation of the light. That was it. My mind went absolutely blank for a second there. This is really interesting because we have the full moon, a propagation of the light, reflected light with the full moon, but also hopefully reflecting from within us, full moon in Cancer, the emotional side of it. We are able to put our more positive emotions out there and have them achieve things, have them do things for the better, as per the energy of Mars. Especially when the moon and Mars are quintile one another, there's that sense of mystery and creation. If you've ever seen Rick Levine wax lyrical about quintiles, especially in, I think it is David Bowie's birth chart he was talking about, but various other artists as well, that wonderful surge of creativity. And we're talking about using this creativity in line with our emotions, possibly at our emotions, you know, to, if we're still feeling miserable or limited or depressed because it's been a hard year, you know, and who would blame you? And there's nothing wrong in that if that's the healing process that you want to go through. But why should that be the only thing that you are going through? You can use whatever you've got to strive forward to creating this new, the new age, the new, I don't want to use the word age, but the new reality for yourself that the new era of air promises, as started by this Jupiter Saturn conjunction we've just gone past. Now, Yeratel is, as I say, is about propagation of light, but there's one other thing. Obviously, full moon. Moon opposition sun. The sun is parallel Pluto, contra-parallel the North Node, and so there's your identity. There's certain things coming to an end in your identity. There's certain things, thinking about it, I have heard the other astrologers say this. There's certain things where we are being encouraged to say, no more. Not doing that again. I'm not feeling that way. I'm not doing that thing. I'm not putting myself in that position. I am moving forward, again, using that energy of Mars. So the reason I was talking about this, Pluto and the North Node are both ruled by the angel Achaia, who, in according to my astrology cards and like Oracle of Heaven and Hell and all those sort of things, Achaia rules the DNA of the soul. And Achaia, the North Node is biquintile, so again we've got that creative force. But the North Node is biquintile Pluto and contraparallel to Pluto, which works much like an astrological opposition. So it's not necessarily the two things are against one another, but it's that they are exerting a pull and a creative pull at that, since on the 2D plane of the chart that you look at, they are biquintile one another. Remember, when I talk about parallel or contraparallel, we're talking about how the planets are above or beneath the ecliptic, because the solar system isn't a flat disk. Everything orbits at just slightly different angles. So they are biquintile on that imaginary two-dimensional disk of the ecliptic. But they are also in opposition to one another in the amount of degrees that they are from the ecliptic, which is quite a special relationship at this time. So there's that sense of creative force. There's a whole number of questions you can ask yourself with this full moon. What are you hungry for? North Node, Rahu, the headless dragon of Vedic astrology, not headless, sorry, the bodiless, Rahu is the head, isn't he? The bodiless dragon, just the head of the dragon that has a ravenous appetite and consumes, matched with the energies of Pluto, that is unearthing secrets, and more to the point saying, no, stop. That's the end of that, and that's the revelation of that. So what are you hungry for? And is it doing you any good? And if it's doing you good, keep going. And if it's not doing you good, stop it. I mean, which is good advice at any time. But the energies here, under the light of Acharya, really help those sort of efforts. Now, Acharya, as I was saying, rules the DNA of the soul, is the quote that I found from a blog whose name I forget, but he does all the different images like inside degrees, Chandra images, Omega symbols, for all the different degrees of the zodiac. But Acharya, let me just bring the details up here, is also about patience. It's also about, I know there was something I needed to remember. It's also about allowing these changes that are started within, with the sun, with that sense of identity, with that sense of, is this who I am? Is this who I want to be? Which I think it's the same answer to both questions. Because if you are in a position where, is this who I am? And the answer's no, then is this who I want to be? No. More than likely not. You want to find that expression of being you to the best of your ability, or however you want to look at it. And Acharya here is allowing you, is encouraging you or supporting you even, to cut those hungers or those directions where you're heading where you don't really need to head anymore, because you've got this new you that you've been working on, especially as we head into this new era of air. Now, it's interesting that with Yeratel and Acharya, neither of them are actually using their own planets here. So, Yeratel is not associated with the Moon or Mars, and Acharya is not associated with the North Node or Pluto. One's Jupiter, one's Neptune and Mercury, I think. But the position of the zodiac that these bodies are in are what these angels rule. And so they're really able to express themselves, especially with the Mercury and Neptune. Now, Acharya was Jupiter. Acharya is the Neptune and Mercury. So you're able to communicate, not just bring things to an end, look at your hungers and stop things and start things, and allow those Pluto energies to reveal those deeper aspects of yourself, those truer aspects of yourself. Now, I'm not saying that with reveal that you're having a big confession time to anybody or anything like that. It's just you have realized who you want to be and who you feel you are deep inside, and now the world is allowing you to show it, maybe through your actions, maybe through your words, hopefully through both. And that Pluto helps the revelation of this, maybe aspects of yourself that you've kept hidden up until this point. It's also going to give you, because it can be difficult where you've got, here, think of the dilemma of the starseeds. Now, I'm not saying anything about the starseed philosophy one way or another. I totally believe it, and I totally don't believe it, all at the same time. So you can take me to task on that in the comments. But I think it's quite healthy to do both. But the starseed is someone who more than likely feels like they don't fit in. Now, this full moon is promising to give ways for these starseed type people who feel like they don't fit in to find the dreams to fit in. Now the door is opening so that a starseed sometimes feels like they're in a dilemma between I be me or I be here. And now there is an opening of the energies so that you can be me here. So you are changing your here to something where you are actually able to express yourself better. There is a way of, if you are knowing who you are and not knowing how to apply it to the world, now you can receive dreams. I'm not saying sleepy dreams, I'm saying ideas, you know. You can receive ideas or communications which show the way of how you can be you and be the you that you want to be in this world, having the effect that you are wanting to have. So it's not even so much that the starseeds would suddenly be fitting in, it's that they are able to carve that place for themselves in the world, and how can I put it? Be valid there. Be not validated. Nobody needs no validation here. You know, it's the only validation you need is from yourself. But it's not just that they are feeling, yes, I'm being validly me. Other people are able to recognize, you know, what you're doing is actually a good thing. It's useful. It's practical. It's supporting the community, the collective, however you want to look at it. So the fact that neither of these angels are ruling their own planets, there's that... The impression it gives to me is a real mix and match. Because it's using the most appropriate tools to hand to help shift things along into this era of air that we... I really don't want to go so woo-woo, as I can feel my thoughts taking me. But if there is a symbol of the Great Awakening that you'll have seen numerous commentators going on about, that comes from, or the harvest as you know it from the Law of One, the Great Awakening from Dolores Cannon and any particular New Age philosophy type person you see on YouTube, then this full moon is it. We've been going through the trial, and don't think the trials are over. You know, this we've got Saturn square Uranus next year, which could be interesting for all of us, but it's still not, hopefully, going to be as bad as this last year gone. And we are being given the tools of what is lying around, of what is available to you, what you are practically able to grab hold of and use to help start creating where we go forward from here. Now, normally I would avoid even using language as strong as where we go forward from here, but it's been a hell of a year. And so it's really good to see something that is saying, yeah, you've got more challenges next year as well. And here you have the tools so that no matter what these challenges that come up are, because Uranus, we ain't going to know, no matter what these challenges are, you will still be contributing. You will still be helping build that better future. For yourself, for society, however you want to look at it. I find some of the New Age philosophies about constantly focusing on the self to sometimes be a little counterproductive. When they say on the Law of One, the choice is between service to self and service to others, but you've got to go and serve yourself by sorting out all your emotions, sorting out your this, sorting out your that, sorting out your others, manifesting, trying to be happy. And it's somewhere the service to others gets left behind somewhere. And I see it slightly as a false dichotomy. Service to self and service to others can be the same thing. And this is what we're talking about here, where service to self and service to others can be the same thing. You can evolve and you can be of service to others in that act of evolution, and they in their acts of evolution can be of service to you as well. That is great. And of course, with Acharya being in charge of the DNA of the soul, if you follow, there's a lot of different channelers all saying the same thing. I mean, we've been talking about DNA activation for a good few years. But if you look at what a lot of the ritual magicians who work with the goetic spirits are, the information that they're bringing forward, it's all about DNA activation. You look at what a lot of the angel channelers are talking about, it's all about DNA activation. Now, when Acharya, I have to keep looking at it to pronounce it, when Acharya is seen as being in control of or presiding over or guarding or guiding the DNA of the soul, that's not your physical DNA. That's looking at the makeup of that more essential piece of you. That bit that hopefully you've been working on all year, whether through choice or not. You know, there's we've all been locked in our own houses for a year. You know, we've had plenty of time to contemplate our own navels, and let's hope that now that we've getting some more freedom. I mean, I'm reluctant to say freedom in terms of physical freedom. We're heading back into lockdown in Britain, definitely. I think America, if it's various areas of America are in lockdown, various areas of America should be in lockdown, and it's not that much different across Europe, across other parts of the world, because we've still got this virus to contend, but we have more of a freedom in how we think. Because this last year and all the challenges that we've faced have swept away a whole number of shoulds, a whole number of we should do it like this because we always have. And so now we're able to question so much of this, and we have a greater freedom of thought, as how society should be, and a greater freedom of thought of how we should be. And I'm saying we, I'm including I in that. So yes, you can still do that self-work and what have you, but as within, so without works both ways. Change yourself within, you can help change the world. Help change the world, you can find it quite a changing experience for yourself. Ask anyone who's gone and done the year out helping in a famine-struck region, or helping refugees, or you know where I'm going with this. Anyway, I'm going to bring up the cards in a moment because I've waffled quite enough. But this is a beautiful, beautiful full moon, and to go full woo-woo, DNA activation time, new freedoms time, as in freedom of thought, freedom of setting what your destiny will be. But remember, you're not getting all the answers, and you are not deciding all the answers, because freedom, these ideas that you are taking on board, have a freedom of their own, and you may be surprised where they take you, and that's a good thing. Okay, so general reading, it's a communal reading, so it's for whoever watches it. General reading rules apply. So I doubt, I haven't even shuffled the cards yet, I'll do that in a moment, but I doubt other people will appear in the reading, but if they do, I can get you and them mixed up. Timing is far from absolute, with this being practically a New Year's Eve reading, straight after the solstice, at the start of the Jupiter Saturn Conjunction and the 500 and odd other cycles that have just come to an end and restarted. Who knows what sort of time span this reading is going to be. I'm going to deliberately, I'm not doing it for individual zodiac signs, because one, I've been guided to, and two, I haven't got time to do the 12 of them. So we'll see what comes up in the reading itself. Yeah, this is going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to this. Right then, I'll bring up the cards. So as ever, it feels a little weird not saying a star sign here, like so Aquarius, so Pisces. So everybody, there is the themes that I was talking about initially have come out in the reading, because of course they did. We have the foreign thrones, indicating new ideas, indicating a time of doing things differently and new information coming in. It can indicate, in fact, angelic or extraterrestrial information coming in. So even there, the star seeds are appearing here. And that's followed with the Sufi wisdom oracle with turn over a new page, let love lead the way for change. So that is just saying about the whole letting things go. And oh, let's get that camera back into focus. And that's not going to happen, is it? Come on, camera, you can do it. There we go. Right, so for as long as it lasts. Then we have Nike with victory, which I think is rather self-explanatory. And as I was shuffling, I nearly said juggling, but as I was shuffling my confirmation deck, the one card in that particular deck, Illumination, it's a special card. It's not your standard tarot. It's one of those, all the good bits put into one. It's indicating that there is this moment of realization. There is this moment that cannot be resisted. We have Materiel, Angel of Rain. Now, she is the power that you can feel her, you can hear her, you can see her. You know, the rain is here and cannot be resisted. She is also the lightning. She is that Uranian energy coming in, bringing change. You don't know where it's going to strike, but it's going to strike. And I'm actually feeling really, really reassured by this. Then we have the Magic Prayer card from the Enchanted Map. And this is a reminder that your prayers get answered. Spirit is with you. You have support during this process. Although it does say your best prayer is always thy will, not mine be done. Now, from my ritual magic background, I'm like, this, but yes, it's a good idea to work with spirit, but it's also a really good idea to aim for understanding of why spirit is asking you to do what they are being asked to do. Sometimes you've got to go, okay, you're giving me the clues, you're giving me the guidance, I will go with whatever you say. And I do not understand it, and you're not going to understand it, because again, with Materiel's energy here, change is coming. Change is definitely coming, and you should be taking full advantage. Change is coming with this foreign thrones. Tronosle Trangeros. I'm probably absolutely murdering that word. But with the turn over a new page, with the victory of Nike and the Illumination card coming out with it, we are, I would say that understanding, or doing your best to understand what Spirit is asking you to do, or having your own understandings of what needs to be done, and notice which ones Spirit sort of pats you on the head and says, well done, you know, that's a useful process. Yes, harmonise your will with Spirit. Absolutely. You don't just do what they say. You do what they say because you agree with it, or because you feel that it's a friendly force guiding you. You know, both. It's like no one philosophy. The philosophies which say you're supposed to join with the Godhead, and the philosophies of the ritual magicians that say, no, I become God because I am a little bit of God. They're both right. I think the Gnostics express it best, where they say you reach this point of ascension, elevation, spiritual advancement, however you want to say it, and the where you meet the angels, or more precisely the aeons, they recognize themselves in you and you recognize yourself in them, which I think is a wonderful way, because it keeps the whole free will aspect intact. It keeps the surrender aspect intact. You would think that they are mutually exclusive, but they're not necessarily. And then finally, we have two cards came out of the, what do you call this one? Fallen Angel Oracle. This works with the Goetic spirits again. We have Oribus, with card number 58, with honesty. Interesting that becomes a 13. And then Nibirius with completion. And of course that collapses to an 8. Where is the full moon? 8 degrees. Yes, I know that's stretching things, but I'm seeing it as relevant. And I don't normally like seeing that sort of thing as relevant. But Nibirius is a gateway. His totems are a raven, who in Norse mythology stood between the worlds of the living and the worlds of the dead, much like Hermes in Greek myths. But also his other symbol is that of a three-headed dog, the guardian of the underworld, Cerberus. So there is this transition point that we are passing through. There is this, what I was saying about the Pluto energies being represented very much here. There's certain things that you will want to give up, and there is certain things that you will want to carry on with, as long as you are being honest with yourself. Oribus will bring you great wisdom. Now, neither Oribus or Nibirius are involved in the chart of the full moon, so those are two quite independent voices that have popped up, but that's really nice to see. Now, the actual tarot cards themselves, we're seeing change. We're seeing a strategic approach to all the changes that are around. The visible central card is the Seven of Swords, where things are being taken away from a situation, maybe to be disposed of, maybe to be hidden, maybe to be revealed. But there is certainly that sense of certain things being taken away from certain other things, and that this is a deliberate, structured approach. This is clarified by the Eight of Wands. This happens quickly, and it is a matter of finding a rebirth where the astrologers are saying that this full moon is there to basically make you feel better about things, whatever those things may be, you know, whether it's home life or job or purpose in the world or about your past, or it's just generally find some form of advancement, find some way of feeling better, and identifying what is missing. And also, if you want to receive what is missing, you've got to discard some stuff, you know, to have a free hand to collect it when it turns up. But we have a whole issue of fear and of sort of, oh my God, stress and tension with the Nine of Swords here, excuse me. But what is underlying this issue is you taking your power, finding that rebirth through your own powers, through your own skills. And this does not change. It's going to create plenty of debate, and I think that debate is actually quite healthy. It's not always going to be well received, but it is quite healthy and will be taking you to places where you didn't necessarily think you was going to end up. You know, there's that surrender aspect with the free will aspect here. But because I noticed that we're all going to be receiving some form of information where it's almost like we say, I need more. And what the more is I need more detail. I need more understanding. I need to find a practical way to apply this. We have Page of Swords, Page of Swords, Page of Wands. So that, you know, there can't be a more... there's information that comes to you, and then there's information that comes to you that you can actually do something with. Which gives you a choice of, there's the choice in the road. Two of Wands here with Two of Cups. Well, hey, you know, but what these are both saying is there is that choice. There was a Lover's card somewhere. Where did I see that one? I think that's at the very end. No, that's Seven of Cups. There was a Lover's card somewhere. I have no idea where. But I know I've seen it. Ah, there it is. Yeah, there. There's this whole sense of choices that we make now. And choices that we make in the oncoming time. Remember, on this spread, here is a line that represents the present. And we are going into a time of great choice. Two of Cups, are we working together? Are we working for the ideals of love? Are we working to bring dreams into being? With the Two of Wands, are we going to do it or are we not going to do it? With the Lover's card, in these two piles represent an alternate future or two alternate futures. We've got Page of Wands again, so you're putting that information into practice by getting rid of Five of Cups. Those dreams and sorrows and distractions that are no longer serving you. Because you are not without. There is plenty left and you can afford to get rid of whatever it be. You can afford to get rid of an extra responsibility or a certain pain that's been bothering you for a long time, or a distraction that's been in your life that's just like a time sink. You have the freedom to say, yeah, I don't need that anymore. Not because you have to be doing all the time if you're getting rid of some form of time sink, but just that you could be using that time differently. Maybe it's a time sink that isn't relaxing and should be, and you need to take that relaxation. We've got a lot of fives here. There's a lot of challenge coming up. Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles, but that guidance is still there. We have to accept. Mind you, I say we have to accept. But what this Lovers with the Five of Pentacles is really saying to me is that there is a point where if we are believing in what we are doing, we just have to have the faith and get on with it. Because there's plenty of enough challenges here to put us off. All the way through here, we have the choice. You can stop now. You can stop now. You can stop now. Especially starting with this Five of Wands down here, where there's people be telling you to stop anyway. But you are wanting to build, and you are wanting to be recognized for what you are building, because you are aiming for a better place. We are aiming for a better place. This is a reading for me as much as anybody else. But Six of Swords, Three of Pentacles. So hopefully, if you've got to the point of you're watching this video in the first place, you're reasonably hopeful. We've survived 2020, you know, well, 1.5 days to go. We've survived 2020. We've got this far, and we have been having that rebirth. And yes, there's a sense that we need to protect what we're doing, but we are already creating new devices, new artifices, new methods to protect what really does mean something to us, but what things that mean to us are going through a rebirth in and of themselves. Yes, we are at a level where we have to, no idea what that is, where we have to level up. And yes, action's going to be very, very, very fast. And I feel that the pace of things as they pick up. Just imagine looking to February and all the planets practically by Uranus are in Aquarius. Everything moving direct then as well, and apart from maybe Mercury, I'm not sure. I know there's a retrograde coming up, but I'm not even bothered about it this time. You know, no need to send up the signal flare. But where we end up is with lots of options, lots of dreams that we're taking forward, 7 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles. This is interesting because the 10 of Pentacles here for the final outcome card, 10 of Pentacles here in the past. Now that our home bases, whatever that means, emotionally, work-wise, family-wise, whatever, have changed. There's no two ways about it. They have changed, but they have not been lost. This death card is not killing them. It is changing them. And it's almost like with the difference between the two 10 of Pentacle cards, everything seems also very formal, terribly formal here. And here's so much freer, so much inclined towards growth. And we still have, with Ace of Cups, 3 of Cups on the bottom of the 2 decks, this is setting us up in a really, really positive direction. Working with friends may have faded into the background, but it's going to come to the fore once again, because all of this is, you're not doing this in isolation. You are doing your thing while your friends are doing their thing, and your thing and their thing help one another. Another Lover's card. Yeah, so you've had this, here's the warning here. You've had this urge before to create a whole new life, cut things out, make the choice that you're moving forward, that you're going to listen to the guidance, or possibly you've had a choice to do that in the past and you didn't. And the world came and pulled the rug out from under you. I don't think that's going to happen now. It gave you the skills in the past to face this new beginning now. You failed then so that you can succeed now. Anything else that I'm picking up from these cards? That's the whole lot. So now click the Facebook link on the bottom of the page, on the bottom of the description, well, in the description, and come join the Facebook group and have a look at the page and have a look at all what the astrologers are saying about this new full moon, sorry. And also that Facebook page, it's got its own inbox. So if you want to approach me for a personal reading, which obviously would be a little bit more specific than this, because it's awkward to just read for, I don't know who I'm reading for, but whoever, if you've watched this far, it's for you. But yeah, come and join us. Obviously, press the like button. If you liked the reading, if you want to see more of it, if you want other people to see more of it, press the like button. You are more than welcome to subscribe to the channel. I'm still chasing after that magic 1000. I'm past halfway there, but only just. In the meantime, Happy New Year, everybody. And stop sharpening your dreams and ideas. Start sharpening your swords, as in dreams and ideas, because this next year, challenging though it is going to be, is a great time to start bringing them into the real world. And with that, I'm going to shut up. This video has been long enough. Cheers.